Shayla brothers, and thank you so much for taking the time on this gorgeous, beautiful Sunday to come together. To this rally, support our jobs, support our community, and to support the folks working in the great state of North Carolina. Some quick reminders before we begin. The roads right here are just blocked to the half-block mark. You see where the barricades are. So let's respect our businesses and stay in front. And also the roads are closed only till 7 p.m. So after the rally, please make sure you clear the streets and dive into our beautiful restaurants and stores and bars and have a wonderful time. We got to thank the Wilmington Film Commission, the North Carolina Production Alliance. Also want to thank the IATSE and all the volunteers for making this rally happen today. But most importantly, thank you for being here. I see a lot of stars and producers from our favorite shows here too. Colin Ford, thank you for coming. Also, Grace Victoria Cox, I know she's here. Lindy Greenwood is roaming around. The folks from Max Steel, there's my Lindy girl. So thank you. Max Steel, there's actually some producers here that I talked to that Tuesday, they were just like, okay, these are our crew. By Saturday, when I talked to them, they were like, we love this crew. And it was awesome. And we're like, we told you. They love this town. So thank you. And the crew members, we're here for you today. We're here for the background actors too. We're here for all the small businesses that are supported by film as well. We definitely can't leave you out. Now, as for me, if you're wondering why the heck I'm up here, well, you know, I got many titles. You know, I'm, that radio girl from Sunny 104.5. I'm that girl who does that thing on TV, or that girl who writes the Wilmington Daily. So, however, my favorite title has been the North Carolina Film Cheerleader, because that's who I am. If you work in film and support our industry here in our state, I love you. It's that simple. I mean, you guys see me, I'll come to set one day, and you know, when there's a hugging group, you know, oh, Sheila's here again. She's always hugging people. It's because I love you. You mean so much to me. You are a family. And we can't let this end. We just can't. We're a family. We're an industry that have been growing stronger and stronger over the last 30 years. And I'm not alone. I'm not the only one who thinks that. This weekend, I received a letter from our beloved Dawson, James Vanderbeek. Yes, indeed. He could not be here today, but he wanted to share his support, and I did post it today, so you'll be able to find the whole letter. But in short, he said, in the 6 years I spent working in North Carolina, I learned what it is to be a professional. I learned what it is to be part of a team, and I was fortunate enough to call some of the brightest, most talented crew members I have ever met my friends. I never hesitate to praise the working environment I experienced in Wilmington and any and all press that I do. Thank you, Dawson. Right? So this rally is a call to action. And our North Carolina film incentives need to be in the governor's budget. The question that needs to be answered is, can you help us, Governor Pat McCrory? As we stand together today to make sure it will be, we are here to shout that message so loud that they can hear us all the way up in Raleigh. So let me hear you, Wilmington! I love you, and we got to get this ball rolling. So thank you so much for allowing me to represent you in media, through press, through TV, through radio. I love you. I got another guy who loves you too. And it's the Executive Vice President of EUE Screen Gems, Bill Vassar.
Thanks, everybody. You know, you are the film industry. About 12 years ago, my company sent me down here, and I had a chance to experience something that I saw was very, very special. And I believe it was the last season of Dawson's Creek. I was out with the crew on location here, and it was about 8 o'clock at night, and people's phones started to go off. I noticed crew members going off to make phone calls. And I asked somebody, what's going on? You know, I'm from New York. I'm thinking they're calling their bookies. They said, no, they're saying goodnight to their kids. That's what this town is. That is the sense that film producers and film directors and people from LA get when they come here, and they don't find that anywhere else in the world. We are a family, and we treat the films that come here as family, and we leave them with such a wonderful feeling that they want to come back here, and it's unique to any other place in the world.
That's right.
I went back to New York after that, and I said to the people I work with, we've really got to think about investing money in that facility there. And so we built 2 additional stages. We went into the equipment business, and we started to get really serious. And we started to see people move here from all across the country to be part of the crew and part of what's very, very special here. And what's even more rewarding is to see how many of your kids have grown up to be in this industry. I don't think, except for New York and Los Angeles, there's any other town in the United States that has second-generation crew. So give yourself. So I just wanted to say how proud the studio is to be a part of the industry, is how happy we are to be a part of it with you, and have a great rally. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. And now we're going to move on to Bill, our mayor, Billy Sappho.
Hey, let me hear it, man. Come on. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, look. You know, this is a great state. It's had a lot of great companies and industries here. This town used to be a railroad city. Now it's a film city. We've lost the textile industry, and we've lost the furniture industry, and we've lost the tobacco industry, but I'll be damned if we're going to lose the film industry. We got jobs here. And look, and this is one of the only industries, and somebody that's in politics is one of the only industries that we can all get along with and say, we love film. And if we don't, then we shouldn't be here. I just wanted to say, we've been talking about jobs and jobs and jobs since who knows when. We've got jobs. This is our industry. Look at you right out here. All of you. You're part of this great community. You make great quality product. They can talk about Apple iPads, but we're making Iron Man 3 here in Wilmington with Wilmington workers. And it should make you proud that when you're in foreign countries and you're flying cross country or across the world, you can flip on a movie that was done right here in Wilmington, North Carolina, produced by you folks. We're at a very critical junction in this industry. We can lose it very easily, and it's going to be very difficult to bring it back. I applaud Georgia, I applaud Louisiana, I applaud South Carolina because they're doing everything they can to take that industry from North Carolina. We need to do everything we can to keep it here in North Carolina. Behind me are elected officials that support you folks. They support you at the local level, they support you at the state level, and they're working very hard to make this happen. We need to support these folks, and we need to let the governor know this is important to all of us, not only in Wilmington, but throughout the state of North Carolina. I've got the elected folks behind me. There's an elected guy right out here, too. I see Sheriff McMahon is here amongst us, too, because he cares about us, too. So enough of me. Now we're going to hear from the other elected officials here on the stage. It's Representative Ted Davis, a true champion of the film industry. Ted, come on up here.
Thank all of y'all for being here. Danny McComas, who was a former representative, as you know, took the forefront in trying to keep the movie incentives here in Wilmington. I took his place. And when I did that, I promised Danny I'd take that banner and I'd carry it forward with all the energy and support that I could give, and that's what I'm doing. To me, it's a no-brainer. 4,200 full-time jobs, average pay $60,000 a year.
Thank you.
What is the problem? As Billy Sappho said, ever since I've been in Raleigh, all I hear about is jobs, jobs, jobs. We need jobs. We need clean industry.
There it is.
Well, what cleaner industry can you get than the film industry? And what other industry can bring 4,200 full-time jobs, much less all the part-time jobs to the state, so people can earn a living?
Yes.
So we're going to keep on fighting for you. I promise you that. And we're going to prevail, and we're going to keep the film industry here. And I thank you once again for your support.
Our next speaker is the Fighting Redhead, Susie Hamilton.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, film family. Can I hear you say it, film family? In North Carolina, film family. Woo! You guys, every time we do one of these, it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And you know why? Because this is a growing industry in our state. It's not just about Wilmington. It's not just about down east in this region. It's about Charlotte. It's about Asheville. It's about the Piedmont. It's about the coast. It's from the mountains to the sea, film family. Is it not? Can they hear us in Raleigh yet? You guys really lift my spirit. You make this job worth doing. You are the reason that we are here today. You're the reason that we go to Raleigh, because we're going to fight. This group of people behind me, we're all going to stick together and we're going to fight. What we have is not broken. In fact, it's working so well that Republican governors from Georgia, from South Carolina, and from Louisiana are waiting with bated breath for our governor to do nothing or to do something wrong. We need to send a message back to Raleigh that these jobs need to stay in North Carolina, that we don't need to be giving them away to other states who have figured it out. They figured it out. It ain't broke. It ain't broke. Don't fix it. Repeat after me. It ain't broke. Don't fix it.
The next speaker is Senator Tom Goolsbee. Tom.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It's a pleasure to be back here before you. I was elected 3 years ago. We went up at a time when the state was in a real budget crisis, $3 billion in debt. But the one thing we did not let fail, and that was our film tax incentive. What did that do for us? The rest of the states that cut theirs off at the same time all our economies across the country were in the hole, Michigan, Illinois, so many other places, they lost film. We gained the jobs. Your job. And the one thing we have to continue to shout, my friends, is that the film tax incentives bring jobs to North Carolina. They are smart. They are great for our economy. And the last thing we can do is get rid of them. That's right. So I just ask you to continue to support us. Call up everybody that you know. I hope you'll all bring your numbers to Raleigh. We need to let the governor hear it. We need to let the House and the Senate hear it. And we've got to keep our film incentives so we can keep it in here in North Carolina. Particularly, half the money comes to Wilmington. We got to keep it here, folks. Keep working hard. Thank you.
Another champion of our film industry, Senator Bill Rayburn.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank you all for coming out to support the industry. We love you. We love you all. I want to hear it 3 times. Films equal jobs. Let's go. Films equal jobs. Films equal jobs. Films equal jobs. There you go. There you go. Let me read a little something to you. These are our numbers, not your industry's numbers. Let's start with some counties. Who benefited? Buncombe, Burke, Cabarrus, Cleveland, Mecklenburg, Transylvania, Watauga, Yancey, Brunswick, New Hanover, Mecklenburg, Orange, Pender, Allegheny, Wake, Forsyth, Guilford. That's the whole darn state, people. That is the whole darn state. That's you. That's you. We love you. Films equal jobs. Films equal jobs. Films equal jobs. Films equal jobs. 2 years ago, they tried to get rid of the incentives. And we saved it. And I'll show you who saved it. Town.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
We saved film. We'll do it again. We will do it again. Go.
That's right. That's what I like to hear. Woo! It's like the nature boy. Woo! All right. County Commissioner, Chair, Co-Chairman, Vice Chairman, Beth Dawson. Beth, come on in.
Thank you, Mayor Sappho. Good afternoon. What a super crowd and a beautiful day to be out for a wonderful purpose, and that is to protect and fight for our film industry. On behalf of your New Hanover County Board of Commissioners, I bring you greetings and support for the continuation of the North Carolina Film Incentives. You all have heard a lot of conversation this past year from your elected officials in New Hanover County, in Wilmington, and all across North Carolina this year about the support of economic development, workforce development, the need for good paying jobs. And we have taken several positive actions here on the local level that show we are serious about encouraging business retention as well as business recruitment in order to stimulate our economy, job creation, and the revitalization of our communities in New Hanover County. So, as we advocate for the continuation of the film industry incentives, let us respectfully ask our legislators across the state, please do not pull the rug out from under an established, proven industry that is already here.
That's right. That's right.
Please do not pull the rug out from under a professional and well-trained workforce that is already here. Please do not pull the rug out from under good-paying jobs that are already here. And please do not pull the rug out from under our ancillary businesses providing services who are already established here. The North Carolina Film Incentives have proven to return a positive return on investment for years now in North Carolina and here in New Hanover County and Wilmington. The film industry contributes positively to our tax base and in turn to our tax revenue and supports hundreds of families who have chosen New Hanover County as their home to live, to work, to play, to raise their families and educate their children. While we recognize the wonderful quality of life that we have here and welcome businesses like the film industry, which recognize the assets that we have here to offer, we also recognize the need for the continuation of the state's film incentives in order to be competitive with our neighboring states. Support and advocacy for the state's film incentives continues to be a priority on your New Hanover County's legislative agenda this year, as we recognize the private investment they encourage, the job creation they support, and the value for economic development that they contribute to our county and for all of our citizens. Thank you.
And now Commissioner Jonathan Barfield. Mr. Barfield.
What's up, Wilmington? I'm gonna take you back to my roots a little bit. Just work with me. Just throw your hands in the air. Just throw your hands in the air and wave them like you just don't care. If you love the film industry, let me hear you say, oh yeah! Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Oh yeah! We all know that films equal jobs. From the first filming in 1984, Firestarter until now, there's been so much money made in this community and so many jobs provided. We must protect the film industry. One more time. Oh yeah! Oh
yeah! City Councilman Kevin O'Grady.
Film equals jobs. It's so simple. I see it on your shirts. I see it on my bumper sticker. Everywhere. Film equals jobs. Who cannot understand that concept? You know, sometimes we live up in the historic district, so sometimes we get the privilege of being a location, and we get those movie permits come in through our mailbox. I foolishly read them, and on the reverse, I see things like cast 4, crew 65. That's 65 of jobs. Your jobs. That's carpenters. That's electricians. That's production assistants. They make their lives here. We've got to keep those jobs. We can't let those jobs be killed. Who'd be a job killer? Anybody who'll vote against the incentives is a job killer. So, don't you vote for them this November. Film equals jobs.
Thank you for believing in the film industry, all the politicians, all the legislators. Those who believe, make sure you remember their faces. But we also love to see the faces of our own crew members, right? I mean, there's so many stories to tell, and so I picked one or two that I think really could say it well, and we're going to start off with the most awesome Sean O'Rourke. Come on, buddy.
Hello, everybody. Some of you know me as an actor. Some of you know me as a Teamster driver. Shout out to my Teamster brother and sisters out there. Woo! I wanted to talk a little bit about the aha moment. And what I mean by that is everyone out there had that aha moment. Whether it was building a carburetor with your father as a kid and realizing I want to work with cars, or somebody that was watching their mother mend something and realized, hey, I could be a seamstress. We've all had these aha moments. The guys that were out there that built model airplanes as a kid, and then they wanted to blow them up and said, hey, I want to be in pirate. I want to work in the movies. We all had those aha moments. For me, it was 1986. I was 11 years old, and I was living in Durham, North Carolina. And in the paper, there was an advertisement for background actors for a movie called Bull Durham. Yeah! And so I grew up from very humble beginnings. We weren't very rich, and my mom just read that they were going to pay the background, because they didn't pay people back then, hot dogs and hamburgers to be in the stands. And so my mom said, okay, let's all go, kids. We're going to go get a free meal. So we went out there and we had a blast, and I had my aha moment. I looked around, I saw the cameras, the lights, the actors. I saw everything that was going down, and I said, aha, this is what I want to do. So when I graduated high school, I had a choice, New York, LA. I said, New York, LA, I want to be in North Carolina where we've been making movies for 30 years. So I thank my mom for making us go eat hamburgers and hot dogs that day. So After being here for 20 years in Wilmington, I bought a house here. I love it here. I've got friends here. I've watched a lot of the crew members, the grips, the electrics, craft service, catering, the greensmen, hair, makeup, special effects. I've watched them buy their houses. I've watched them fall in love, get married, have kids, put them in our local schools, go to our local churches. This means family. Film equals jobs, but it also means family and roots. Roots right here. About 2 years ago, my mother had a massive heart attack. She had a double bypass heart surgery, and she had astronomical medical bills, and we all know what that's like. And even though she had insurance, she couldn't cover a lot of it. But because of my highly paid job in the film industry, I was able to help my mother pay off all her medical bills, her surgeons, and everything. And that's what this job means to me. We have to be careful going forward when we elect our officials. A lot of them love to double talk. They say they're for the film industry. When they get in there, they're in the pockets of some other businesses, and they turn a blind eye to us. So we have to be careful when we go to the polls. We really do. We have to research. We have to personally vet these people and know the legislators. They're going to do the right thing for film industry. So that's my tip of the day for you guys. There's 44 states, over 44 states with incentives. Okay? That's 75% of the country. They all have economic advisors and people that do their budgets. Is 75% of the country wrong? Are all these economic advisors wrong? No. If the film incentives go away in North Carolina, we will be surrounded by states that have them, from all the way to Maine on the East Coast down to Florida. Okay? We'll be the only ones without them. The jobs will go there. That's right. Okay? We can't let that happen. Nope. We have to go and we have to fight. We have to write our legislators. We have to send them videos. We have to do whatever we can to get them to understand that the jobs have to stay in North Carolina. Yeah. So that's it. We always hear a lot of this double talk. Jobs, jobs, jobs every election cycle. Well, we've got to keep the jobs, jobs, jobs here. And it's time for the governor to step up to the plate, do what's right. Film equals jobs. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That is one passionate man. God, I love him. He is good people. Just like all of these crew members I see out here. But film does equal jobs, but it also equals community. And so we wanted to hear from the small businesses who are impacted from film. It's more than just jobs. It's community. So I decided to talk about a couple of people and bring them to stage. From Old Books on Front Street, one of our, please step forward.
I haven't come to preach to the choir. I've come to say something I think is really long overdue that should be said to the film community, which is thank you. Thank you, because I know you're here today not just to fight for the over 4,000 jobs that happen on film sets. You're also fighting for the rest of us who are dependent on the film industry too. Yes. You're not just fighting for the UNCW and Cape Fear Community College film programs and their faculty and their hundreds of students that are now working as respected professionals. You're also fighting for waitresses and bartenders who have jobs because of the tourism created by the film industry. And you're fighting for small businesses like mine that keep their doors open with rentals to props and set dressing in the art department. And you're fighting for families that pay their mortgages by renting their houses out for locations. And you're fighting for schools and libraries, which are funded by sales tax. Sales tax that is collected not just from money spent in production, but also, again, from tourists who come here because of film, and also from families that live here and work here and spend here. All of you work in the dream industry. You make dreams that happen on screens in dark rooms for people across this country. But you make my dream come true every day because you let me keep my business open. And that's true for hundreds of businesses across this state. Thank you.
Please welcome Jed from Image Monster.
First of all, wow, what a crowd. I moved here in 1999 to open a graphics business. Our very first client was Dawson's Creek. Since then, we've worked on hundreds of films. I can't even imagine the impact of the economics that those films had on this town. It's been an incredible journey for us. Keep film in Wilmington. Thank you so much.
Jed. It's time, ladies and gentlemen, to make a change and keep those jobs, keep our community. It's time for our call to action. Ladies and gentlemen, if you did not get a flyer, Venus Flytrap over there, because these are the two people that we want you to reach out to. Governor McCrory and Sharon Decker. This is her contact information. If you are live tweeting, Pat's Twitter is at Pat McCrory NC. So we are actually asking you right now, get your smartphones out right now. If you're on Twitter, open up your Twitter account. You got a Gmail? Open it up. pat.mccrory@nc.gov. I want to see everybody looking down at their cell phones right now, not at me. Open it up. Are you sensitive? We are going to save this industry because we have the power, because power is groups and numbers. So right now, I want everyone to chant with me and say with me, help us, Pat. Help us, Pat! 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 I can't hear y'all in the back. Y'all are like really quiet. Help us, Pat! Help us, Pat! Help us, Pat! And together, you know we can do this. Let's hear it again for Film Equals Jobs. 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 I can't hear y'all. Come on, y'all got this. Come on, y'all. Film equals jobs. 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 Give yourselves a round of applause, everybody. Make some noise. Let Raleigh hear you.
I want to thank each and every one of you for coming out here to save this very important industry. Thank you, Wilmington Film. Let's hear it. Let's make Raleigh hear us all.